All right, and good evening, everybody, and welcome to Train World live on Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. And today we have a very special guest. We have Bill Schneider from Rapido Trains, and also Jordan Smith. Jordan, how you doing?
Good, thanks. Thanks for having us.
All right, and Bill, how you doing out there?
Doing great. How are things on your side of the sound?
I tell you, it's still crazy. Between COVID and just everybody wanting trains all of a sudden, it's a great time, and also bittersweet because
Sure.
COVID's still around, and of course it's a hard time for many people. But we all gotta do our best to, I guess, stay safe.
Exactly.
And I'm trying something different. I'm trying to stream from Instagram as well. But sorry, Instagram viewers, you're only going to be able to hear me. I didn't think of that beforehand because I don't have you on speaker. So I don't know how I'll do this next time, but I was trying to get the Instagram live people out there as well. So if you're watching on Instagram, and we got close to 100 people watching the video right now on Instagram, watch us on YouTube, Facebook, so you can hear Bill and Jordan. They are far more entertaining, and I'm gonna log out for now and say goodbye and tell you to watch on Facebook or YouTube. But thank you for trying to do it on Instagram. I'll have it more well thought out next time. So I apologize. And say goodbye to Bill and Jordan. But catch us on the flip side. Thank you.
How can you set us up like that? Far more entertaining.
I know. I didn't think that through, but I tried.
Learning experience.
Yes. Next time. So anyway, back to business. We got to start off with this Amtrak engine that you guys announced. The 28599 is the product number that I know on the top of my head now because I have to check it every day to make sure we don't oversell. But now we can sell a couple of more. Can you guys talk about this a little?
Absolutely. Yeah, this has pretty much been for one single locomotive, one of our maybe our most popular things ever. I think, I don't know about that, but this has been a really cool launch. We didn't really expect them to sell that quickly, so we have opened that book up again. So you have until tomorrow. January 15th is the deadline to get those Amtrak 4316 orders into the store. So.
But why was there? You guys announced this. I think was it Christmas Day or New Year's Day?
We send out a newsletter every Christmas Day. This is just a tradition.
Christmas Day.
Yeah. So and we announced the locomotive Christmas Day. We announced that we would make 500 of them, and we figured we'd be plenty safe, and we'd be all right. And the 500 were sold out and over reserved by Sunday morning.
Yeah, 48 hours. Yeah, we thought that it would take us till the middle of February to get to that point.
How many units?
500 pieces.
Wow.
Yeah. It was less than 48 hours from the time we announced it to the time that we all went into panic mode and said, what have we done?
That's insane. And meanwhile, this is Christmas, so all the dealers and distributors, everybody out there, if you weren't, your ears were, glued in and really paying attention, a lot of people missed out, and a lot of customers out there were emailing us wanting more engines, and we couldn't even sell it. It was insane. Crazy.
And that's really why. Sorry, go ahead, Bill.
No, and then it was like we're saying that's why we've opened it back up again, because we never predicted in our wildest dreams that we'd move that many engines in before the stores opened up on Monday to even have a chance to read the email, let alone put any reservations in. So we have opened it back up. It's still going to be limited runs, still going to be a one-time deal. This is it. It's coming in a special presentation box, coming with a certificate that's signed by both Jason and by Matt Donnelly of Amtrak. It's going to be a really nice unit, but it will be limited to just what we have orders for by the end of the day. What, tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yeah, end of day tomorrow. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Now, do you think people bought this because it was a production run, because of Amtrak CEO getting involved with the engine, the exclusive box, because Jason was going to sign and do a plaque, or
I don't know. And if we could figure this out, we'd be doing a lot more of them, I think.
Yeah, originally we weren't even going to make the number that we did. We actually had a much lower threshold we were aiming for. We thought we might sell maybe half of what we were even planning on doing by the end of February, early March. Yeah. We upped that number, and it was crazy.
Well, we were originally going to make, I think, around 300 or something.
Yeah, it was something like that.
That would have been sold out by Saturday morning. I mean,
wow.
Oh yeah.
It was. We've never run into this before, and it created a situation we weren't intending to create. But
and it's funny because we get occasionally a home run or two, but this was I don't think anyone's done this paint scheme in HO before, correct?
No, I've seen some custom painted ones on the internet. But I don't think anyone's done a factory painted version.
Because when I saw. When my father and I saw this, we're like, there's been E8s out there, but no one's done that. And it's like Amtrak. Of course, it's a home run. Anybody should have already made it. It was like a no-brainer.
Well, that's the interesting thing. It's this one paint scheme. It was one engine that was painted. It was the first Amtrak engine that was painted. Yep. And it only lasted in that scheme for like 2 months or something like that. But just because it's unique, it is the original Amtrak locomotive. So I think, and especially with the 50th anniversary coming up this year, this spring, that's a huge deal.
I think that's definitely time to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, is that the reason why the Amtrak CEO is working with you guys? He wanted to do something special for the 50th anniversary. Did he reach out? Did you guys reach out?
Well, Matt's not the CEO. He's the
he's manager of branding, I believe, and that's not his official title, but it's something along those lines.
Yeah,
super nice guy too.
We've worked with him on a number of projects over the years, and I'm not sure if Jason reached out to him or what, but we've had a good working relationship with Matt for a long time.
Okay, that's great. That's pretty impressive, and congratulations for the success. And people are asking about, maybe some people were only ordered because 500 made or whatever, but you guys were actually nice about it, that you did give people the option if they wanted to back out, and as well as us, you could always cancel your order. But I think it was more about people wanting to be a part of the history, working with Amtrak, the exclusive, the special box, the plaque and everything. So there were a lot of components, and quite honestly, a lot more people were upset that they couldn't have that engine more than anything. So I think you guys did the right thing by opening up to the people who were, didn't have that chance to read your email on Christmas Day.
This was also the message we got from Amtrak themselves, that they had a lot of their retirees and some of their employees that wanted to get them. They've worked for Amtrak for years and decades in some cases, and they just couldn't. Wow. So that really played into it as well. The kind of encouragement to make more.
Wow, interesting.
It didn't look good if we're doing an Amtrak anniversary thing and the Amtrak people that wanted it couldn't get it. So,
yeah, precisely.
Are you guys going to announce or the number that you guys make, or it's going to be under wraps?
I think that's up to Jason.
Now, that being said, we are going to be. I talked to Jason about this. We are listing numbers. Like there'll actually be a number on the certificate.
That's cool.
We were talking about that the other day. So
that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll say 1 of or 10 of or
something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. That's neat. And the amount of orders that we have taken are tremendous. A lot of people having interest in this engine. So if you haven't ordered it, and actually, we should probably I should share a screen with a picture of it. I think that would be helpful. So Jordan, actually, you know what? I've
got our websites. Just I can get the photo off of our website here if you want me to share that.
Yeah.
Sure. Let me see if I can bring that up here.
Do it as well.
If it lets me do it here.
I got it.
You see that there?
Actually, let me share your screen. Okay. Yeah. So I apologize about that. We were talking about this engine the whole time, and nobody even knows what it looks like. So we're off to a rough start. But this is the engine. I mean, it's actually a really cool looking engine.
Absolutely. It's really interesting how they did the it's kind of the early version of the pointless arrow, how it wraps around the front of the engine there, and it was
white stripes on the front.
They never went back and closed in.
Yeah. And it's just mind-boggling. No one has ever made this.
Well,
but you gotta love it. That's why Trains is so interesting, and you gotta stay tuned, including Christmas morning.
Mm-hmm.
But you know,
what you be doing on Christmas?
Well, we always like to have a Christmas newsletter. There's always a few surprise announcements that are. We send that newsletter out on Christmas morning just as a special present for everybody. So.
Well, I don't think next year everybody will know better, and everybody your open rates. Let's say they were 80%, they're going to be 100% this time. Mm-hmm. So, or next year. This is unbelievable and beautiful engine. We're actually still taking pre-orders, but Jordan and Bill, you guys are saying that there's a deadline close to tomorrow, actually, for this.
So tomorrow,
tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay, so the distributors have placed their orders in with Rapido, and I'm sure they'll get a couple of extra, but don't miss out. Get your pre-order in now. Make sure you order it. This way you know you could guaranteed one, because I'm sure this engine is going to sell out regardless, even if they extended the deadline. So make sure you get your pre-orders in. And Rapido, if you know their product, they're going to do this thing correctly. The details are going to be ridiculous, where you're going to say, why would they even put that in the model? But they do things right. And whether it's a toilet, a bathroom, or anything in the engine you could probably think of, Jason's already thinking about it.
Absolutely. And
Jordan, I think we forgot the toilet, I think.
Yes, the toilet. I don't have the toilets in these. I was going to say, mine, that the tomorrow's order deadline is just for the 4316s. All of the other E units, the E8s that we announced, the E8As and Bs, we will be continuing to take orders for those. For the time being, we'll wait until we have some pre-production samples before we close that order book for the other names and schemes.
Now,
a couple things on this, Ken, if I could. Talking about that we do things a little different. The 4316 actually, of all of the locomotives that we're releasing, the first batch has a unique body shell. Mm-hmm. It has one of the multiple unit hatches on the front that's missing, so it's open on the front. That's not being used on any of the other models. And it also has the portholes are missing on the side, which is perhaps why nobody else has done this, because they haven't done the model without the portholes, because the stripe goes there. So it's accurate down to the placement of the radio antenna, which is unusual on this engine too. So yeah, we have kind of pulled all the stops out on this one.
That's great. And why'd you guys make the E8 as a new mold? Because other people have done it, but you know, obviously when you guys redo an engine, you pull out all the stops, and this is going to be brand new tooling for you guys.
It's all new. Yeah.
Wow.
You know, one of the things we had done a series of F units, the FP7s, FP9s, the FL9 before, and we were very happy with the way the nose came out. And felt like some of the other models could be improved on in that area, and some of the shapes and the radius of the roof and so forth. And so what we did is we did one of our 3D laser scans of a real locomotive, so that the factory could then trace and measure all of that to get all those contours and so forth correct. And Jordan, can you scroll to some of the CAD renders maybe? But
sure, let me just.
But yeah, this is all new tooling, and again, with the joke that we can't do anything simply, we've got something like 6 different noses, 4 different roofs, 3 different ends, a couple different fuel tanks, different sand filler hatches on the side of the locomotive, all sorts of different little add-on details. This project has been entertaining to work on. Let's put it that way.
Well, there's the Pennsylvania Railroad unit with the trade phone antennas there.
Yep.
Now we're getting a lot of questions on other possible E units rather than just E8s. E8 wasn't good enough. So I don't know if you guys have a comment on other E units.
That's the Erie Lackawanna one. That looks really nice, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's get one out and see how this does. And
okay,
it certainly does open the possibility of other ones in the future, but one at a time.
Yeah, we're going to focus on the first batch. Try not to overextend ourselves too much. We focus on the first 7 or 8 paint schemes we've got. But yeah, we'll definitely be doing more somewhere down the road once we get the first run out of the way there.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing. A lot of people are focusing on the Amtrak engine, but we've actually taken a decent amount of orders on all the other paint schemes. And you're doing quite a few different schemes. And I believe you guys were talking about how all the different paint schemes seem to, you're doing them prototypical as they come.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, all the locomotives are as close to the prototype as we can get them, with special parts and unique details and so forth. And it's just the way that we do things.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
The engine shown in the middle there is actually the Amtrak engine, except in the gray primer, so you can see what I was talking about there with the open part on the nose that none of the other engines have. But yeah, it's the response overall on all of the E8s has been very good.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. This has probably been one of the biggest new locomotive launches we've done in quite a while.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys get nervous or scared? Because people have done E8s in the past, and it's just amazing that the demand for better tooling and more advanced products is the demand is just absolutely crazy. It just seems like people are okay with upgrading what they've had in the past, which always amazes me. But I'm sure, you guys are taking a big chance because tooling's not cheap. And, everybody says to the manufacturers, oh, why don't you just make this and, sell 5 pieces, So it's you guys are taking a big gamble. And quite honestly, a wrong decision can put any company in, financial hock or, in the red, and which is not good. So how do you guys work that out or decide?
There's no easy answer. I mean, yes, every time we do one of these projects, we all do get nervous, and then Jason, of course, in particular. But we believed enough in this project and in the others that and so far we've been very lucky.
Yeah, the Alco PA is another one where it's been done by a few different people before.
Thanks, Brian.
And that's been a hugely successul project for us, and it's coming along very nicely as well.
Wow. Very
good.
We
can talk about the PA here in a few minutes too.
I think it because these units, the E8s and also the PAs are not out yet. I just go back to what our first reaction was with the RDC. my father and I heard about the RDC right? Every time now, and we're like, RDCs, why would they make RDC? It's they were out for like $30 to $50. We were blowing them out, thousands of them out on the market, and you guys made it. And if you take the old RDCs to your version, it's like a total different train. It's not even close. And the size, the details, it really is a whole different ball game.
Mm-hmm. Well, the RDCs were another example of a project that it's just been a huge success for us. I think we're on our third release now, just in the last few years.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I think overall that's probably been one of, although the E8's creeping up on it quickly, I think that's been the most successful project that we've done yet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And it allowed us to do a lot of the more unique ones, like the Santa Fe RDC packs. Those stuff that's never been done before. They're just too cool.
Yeah, actually, that I even forgot about that. That was a home run piece too.
Mm-hmm.
It's that was a great seller for you guys. For us, it was unique. It was beautiful looking and something not on the market. So you guys are definitely hitting a lot of home runs, which is great to see, and it's great for the train industry for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, so tomorrow's a big day because not only E8 deadline with the Amtrak, the black version, the limited edition, special plaque, special box, everything. You also got a lot of new announcements and products. And I think Bobby's doing your emails now, but I got to tell him that they're so long because you guys are announcing so much product. It's crazy. And maybe that's why, your Christmas email caught a lot of people by surprise too, because the amount of product that you guys are announcing, you guys are just pumping it out. And, you guys got factories in overdrive right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not to mention our product design team.
Yes, we've significantly
a little pity on us. Yeah.
Added a few new people lately. So.
Well, do you guys want to talk about that, bringing, Matt on board, or?
Sure. He's a great addition to the team. We found, especially in the last few months, we've got so much new stuff. We just need that extra designer capacity, and he's really filled that position in our team. So that really helps us get all that new product kind of designed in tooling and whatnot. It's been great, especially the last several months. We're just cranking out new stuff all the time.
That's great. And quite honestly, he's going to be a huge asset. And the way you guys are rolling out product, you need more people creating the paint schemes, the pictures, the designs. And, you guys have really taken tremendous steps to catapult your company into a whole new category of just, month after month with product, So we're definitely excited for it. Jordan, if you could go back to the E8 screen, because a couple of people just wanted to see the other paint schemes listed. And then after that, maybe we could talk about the other projects that you have coming up.
Sure, no problem. Well, here we go. We're back in the...
That's you.
Yeah,
who's that guy?
That's actually that's our Christmas Day video that we posted to announce the E-units.
I like how Jordan nonchalantly just passes himself by and doesn't bring any attention to himself.
Yes, pay no attention to that photo at all. So this is all the units that we've got. We've got the Amtrak phase, the pointless arrow in the phase 1. We're doing 4 road names in that.
These are not limited edition.
These are not limited edition. So all these paint schemes that I'm showing you now, these are all available. These are regular production run. We'll be taking orders on these for the next, probably the next, I don't know when. We haven't set an order deadline yet, but for quite a while to come. We'll make sure we show everybody tooling samples before we close that order deadline. We'll have some videos and nice photos and stuff like that.
And just sorry, I got to pause right there. And sure. Bill and Jordan, I just want to say that John Smith, the former chairman of the Amtrak Board of Directors, wants to thank you for remembering and honoring its 50th anniversary. And I apologize because I can't post that on our application because the Facebook is not syncing right now. But that's huge.
Oh,
That is. Thank you very much.
We appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you, John, for reaching out and watching tonight's episode. And I will say, if there's one company to do a great project to really get all the details right, I mean, Rapido is the company. So great job together, working together. And we're, as a train industry, everybody's excited about this.
Thank you. So let me, I'll go back to my unit screen here. So, yeah, like I said, we got the Phase 1 Amtrak units. We've got the CB and Q. I believe these are all as delivered, as I recall, Bill.
Actually, these are the 60s era with the red stripes on the nose.
Because they had the black stripes on the nose, I think, as original.
Yes, it's very subtle, but it is a slight difference, and a few detail differences as well from over the years.
Yep. So these are mostly going to have the we're going to use our stainless steel finish that we've used on our Bud cars and RDCs and stuff like that.
Yeah, the side panels on those most of them were stainless, and the 42 I guess was not. So
the 42 will be unique. It had painted gray sides, so that will be done correctly.
I've got to update that artwork.
You've been a little busy this week, though. So we got the as delivered CP maroon E8s. Those were actually used on the Boston to Montreal train. So if you're modeling the New England in the 50s and 60s, you'll definitely want those. This is the later CP block scheme. So that's kind of mid 50s through to the late 60s. By the 70s, they got the Action Red paint. That's starting around 1970. There was only 2 units left because 1801 was wrecked while it was still painted in the block letter.
And something else, again, talking about crazy little details, the CP, when they shopped number 1800, for some reason they put the front panel on backwards, so the porthole was in a different location. So we've actually tooled that side panel as well, so we've got the porthole in the wrong location.
the wrong location, but it's actually the right location for the prototype. Right. We've got Erie Lackawanna. A lot of people have been asking if we're going to do the as delivered Lackawanna units. We'll probably get to those in a future release at some point.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. We've got Illinois Central, A's and the A and B sets. New York Central cigar band. Again, a lot of people are asking for the lightning strike. We will be looking at doing those in a future run as well.
And the green version.
Yeah, definitely.
We could announce that next Christmas. No.
Yeah. Well, that was actually a good question. When are these due? Is it end of the year, or what are you guys thinking on that? Next Christmas?
The CAD work is basically done. We're down to little things like counting grab irons and rivets and that type of thing. The plan is to have the Amtrak locomotive in production and available sometime in the summer, and then the 4316, the black one, and then the other ones would follow on after that. So, but hopefully we'd be delivering the majority of these starting toward the end of the year. But it all depends. With any project, it depends on what those samples look like when we get our first samples, and then what changes need to be made. So when we get the samples, we'll have a better timeline.
So it takes a while to make these CAD drawings, and then once you submit the CAD drawings, then they create the molds out of the CAD drawings?
Correct.
And so what takes the most time? Is it the mold making, or everything kind of equals out to a long process?
The design work and the research up to the point of actually making the mold in production, that probably on any of our projects takes longer than any other single aspect of it.
And because you guys aren't kidding when you're counting grab irons and
we become kind of quasi experts on all sorts of strange things at this point.
You guys need to create a train phrase when when people say they dot their I's and cross their T's, you count your grab irons and cross your trucks or something.
There's been a term out there for that somewhat derogatory for a number of years called calling people rivet counters.
Rivet counters, yeah.
And we are rivet counters. That's what we do. So
yeah. Wow. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. That's great stuff.
Sorry, Jordan, back to you.
Yep, that's all right. Just moving along. We got the Penzies there. We've got the Southern E8s. Union Pacific. These are the 50s versions of the E8s, I believe. So you've got the Mars light, the dual headlight there, all the early details. Again, people are asking if we're going to do the heritage units, the executive set, probably at some point down the road, but that'll be looked at sometime later. We've actually added B units. We in our newsletter this week, a lot of people were calling for B units because UP quite often would run 1 or 2 A units and sometimes 3 or 4 or 5 B units in between. So we've added those, these 3 numbers there. And of course, we've got VIA in the late 70s, early 80s scheme. These are the 2 former CP units that were picked up by VIA. I think they lasted until about 1982 or 83, somewhere around there, as I recall.
That's a lot of product. A lot of product. I tell you, for one store, if you just ordered one of each, you're talking about thousands of dollars, and that's why out there it's very important for you guys to pre-order ahead of time, because it really helps the dealers and the manufacturers know what to make for you guys and know what to carry. And there's a lot of times on your product, it sells out very quickly. I try to get from the distributors, and it's just tough. It's because you guys make so much and so many variations, it's really hard. So get your orders in. This way, everybody kind of knows what to order. But so that was a great announcement. E8's tons of engines.
That's a great insight too, Ken. I wish I could quote that, because every time we make an announcement, inevitably the first few emails I get is, how come you're not doing this one too, or that one too, or the other? And it's like, we can only do so many, otherwise the retailer is going to kill us.
Yeah. I really want you, we should do this after hours, but I got to calculate one of each and what it totals for. And, there's certain retail stores, that, just carry a couple of HO products. So it's overwhelming, to get these bills all at once. It's like crazy. It's, you're talking about thousands of dollars. It adds up quickly. So, but out there, they want variety, they want specific, and you guys are making that. So that's great job. Kudos to you.
It's just like our SW1200s, which are actually quite a way along in production now. We announced about 20 paint schemes, and it's I think we're actually spreading some of the actual deliveries out a little bit, but they're going to start arriving probably in the spring.
And one of the big problems for retailers, or the larger retailers, every single version that you guys make, DC and DCC ready, with sound, non-sound, for space-wise, holding it in a warehouse, you have to extrapolate the space over, the amount of times each road number. It takes up a lot of space. We're going to need a whole warehouse just for Rapido trains. I think Jason would be happy.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they're not staying in the warehouse too long. So.
No, they're moving. They're moving. Actually, the Horizon cars that just came in, it's crazy. I think people are trampling each other just to get a hold of one.
Oh yeah, we sold out of those. They were sold out before they even arrived, I think, at our end. So we've been.
Yep, I tried to grab as many as I could from every distributor and just wipe them out, but they go quick. They go quick. So you guys are doing.
Jordan got all the ones he wanted.
Yeah, I think I actually ended up giving some of mine up. So,
I think I saw a Jordan Smith eBay page posting them for $1,000 each.
His retirement fund.
Yeah. That's the proof of that one, though. Yeah.
All right. So what else do you guys have? Because I know other people are asking questions, and we just spoke over a half hour about just the 8s. So
Yeah, okay.
what else do you guys got for us?
Well, you've got Bill. You've got your new GLA hopper that we just.
I've got also. Why don't we hit what we got for deadlines tomorrow though first?
Oh yeah, so we can go through that really quick.
We'll have a couple things also coming up tomorrow as well.
Let me share that because I've got a couple other things set up here. Very quickly look at the tomorrow's order deadlines. So this is actually big, especially if you're in the Northeast. We've got the EP5 electrics. That's tomorrow. That big order deadline.
Yeah, and this is huge because you guys actually showed a video of the pantographs actually operating, and this has been tried by many people before. But you guys...
That seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah. Can you guys tell us how you actually got the pantographs to go up and down, and why, Bill, you're saying it seemed like a good idea at the time?
Getting the pantograph mechanism to operate smoothly and the way we wanted has been the reason this project has taken so long to get to this point. But in terms of how we did it, no, I'm not going to tell you that.
Yeah. That's great.
But the majority of the tooling was actually done. It's been done for a little while. It's just getting that mechanism right has been a lot of work has gone into that to make sure it's reliable.
Right.
Well,
just a minute. I'll be right back.
No
yeah, that's right.
I hope that's not the fire alarm. So Jordan, on these pantographs, I mean, a lot of people have tried it in HO before, but I am so happy that you guys were able to overcome. And it seems like on this video that you put together, and we're actually we're going to be posting the video on our YouTube channel as well. That it's moving up and down, and we actually made the post after you posted it on our Facebook page, and the comments and reaction have just been, just tremendous. Everybody's going nuts for this, just really crazy.
It's a really neat engine. We are making a couple of little adjustments to how the pantograph goes up and down, kind of the timing of it. But it's once you see them in person, they're so cool to see. We even have a little electric kind of that static charge sound when the pantograph hits the overhead catenary. It just makes that buzzing when it connects. It's just so neat to see that.
Wow, very cool.
Yeah,
that's going to be a wild engine. And I have a funny feeling that this is one of those engines, even though that the pre-orders may be strong, I think once this engine actually comes out and people start to see more videos of the pantographs actually working and, people having catenary systems up, and I think people are going to go nuts, and it's just going to sell out really quickly.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is one of those engines too. That, I mean, there were tin plate versions, in the 50s and 60s, and it's been done in O and in S. And I think a lot of people had these as kids growing up, and I think we've got a lot of customers who are buying them who don't model the New Haven, but just because they like the engine or they remember the one they had as a kid. So that's playing into this as well.
Pretty amazing for a fleet of locomotives that was what, 10? Something like that.
Yep.
Wow.
But just that visibility, especially being in the New York City area at the time.
Well, now that you guys have these pantographs working, everybody's going to expect more electric units in the future.
We've got a list.
We have
lots of EP5s.
And don't worry, Bill, they're also asking about N-scale operating pantographs.
Right.
We assign that one to John.
Yeah, John will take care of that. No problem.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he'll kill me in tomorrow's meeting.
Very cool. But so get your pre-orders in. So this deadline is tomorrow, correct, guys?
Yes, tomorrow is the deadline for the EP5s.
Deadline EP5s. The pantographs actually will move up and down, so get your pre-orders in. This and also the black Amtrak E8 unit. So get those order-ins, and there's more.
There is.
We have a lot more that we're closing the orders on tomorrow. So just in terms of HO stuff, the other one that we have is our Pennsylvania Railroad F30 flat cars. So this is Well, this is another Bill project, but yep, Bill, he's got them right there. We actually have 3 different versions. We've got the A class, the D class, and the G class, and different variations. These are really neat. It's an all die-cast car, so the body is die-cast. The actual deck, it's a wood kind of simulated deck, but those panels are all die-cast as well. They fit right into the car. So if you want to swap that out for an etched or a wood deck, you can do that.
The nice thing is that this flat car weighs essentially the same amount as our new X31 box car that came out. So for the guys who like to run trains and operate trains, it runs very well. It operates very well.
Yep. Okay. Full underbody detailing, separate stirrups, grab irons, and everything. We have the standard F30, kind of the regular flat car. We've got the early Penzi TOFC version. We've got the later trailer train versions, which had an ACF. The
trailer hitch.
Yes, exactly.
Sorry. The neat thing about these cars is that they were built originally in the 1930s. Some of them, I think it was 85 or so, were converted for trailer train, and then they were brought back into service in the 1980s for trailer train to haul the 45-foot trailers, which is why they ended up in the yellow scheme. So you have a car that was in service fairly widely from the 1930s right through the 1980s.
I've seen photos of the trailer train cars as late as 1986, all across the U.S. So these lasted very late.
And Conrail had them in work train service right up to the end of Conrail. I wouldn't be surprised if there's still some of those kicking around.
And NS has still kept some of them. Being a cast frame, they're almost indestructible. So NS still has some, and a lot of these were actually sold to BNSF, or BN purchased a whole bunch for Thai service, and they're still running. We might do those in a future.
That'll be the next one.
Yep.
Bill, can I just make you main screen, and can you said you had a sample of that?
Yeah, absolutely.
And by the way, Jordan, there's a big debate going on if you're the CEO or Jason works for you.
Well,
it depends on whether it's credit or blame.
That's why I always say I'm the CEO, because I can pretend I'm in charge. So for the videos anyway.
Yeah, I think if you keep on saying that on video, they're really going to hold you to it.
Yeah, I think somebody actually commented on the last video, why does Jordan keep saying that in quotes that he's the CEO? So
it's an inside joke. So yeah, here these are, I don't know how well you can see these with my camera, but this is the standard freight version. You can see it's got the full underbody detail on it. We are doing KD 158 couplers on these, so they're the semi-scale couplers. This is the first time we're doing that. Wire cut levers and so forth on the end. This one has seen a little bit of abuse. This is the trailer train version from the 80s.
Oh, that's nice.
Different trucks again. We've got the Pensys come with the original freight trucks, roller bearing trucks on the trailer train versions. We've got the friction trucks that have been converted to roller bearing, those trucks on some cars. So it's just a neat project.
I'm making notes that we got to stock up. That's a nice looking unit for sure.
They're going to be popular cars.
Yeah, and we've got 6 numbers of each coming, and each car is individually a label, of course, so you can get any combination of cars you like.
Right. Now, the factory sends you one sample. How does that work? Like when building a process, they send you a sample to get approval on it, or what's the process when
they send us? And it depends on the project, and it also depends on the first sample. To be honest, typically this factory will send us some castings and some unpainted samples first, and that's actually how these started out. These I painted. But other times we ask the factory for full decoration samples if it's a complicated paint scheme to make sure that the paint is correct and so forth. Typically there's a couple rounds of samples that come back and forth. We'll get a sample, we'll do a review, we'll say something needs to be adjusted or changed. So there's always a couple iterations through that.
Very cool. Very nice. I think those will do very well. So I'm excited to see them, and I think you guys are making more American product, which is nice to see. You're not just a Canadian company anymore.
Yeah, well, for a long time we were the Canadian company that made the odd U.S. item here and there, but the U.S. market is really it's huge, and personally, I'm almost kind of maybe a little bit unusual for a Canadian, but I have more interest in U.S. prototypes anyway, to a large extent, especially like Amtrak and SP and Penn Central and stuff like that. So
and turbo trains.
Oh yes,
Turboliners. Is that? I guess that's time to give us an update on the Turboliner, because I just saw I guess your YouTube video with I guess that's the demo of the Turboliner, what it's going to look like.
That was actually that's a 3D printed sample, the factory sent. So that's actually not the tooling. That was a mock-up that was specifically for us to test. Well, two things. It was to have a look at the contours to make sure we thought the contours were right before the tooling began, and also to test the operation on curves. So we are using an NEM style drawbar coupler system, which allows the cars to go around some pretty tight curves without kind of losing that close coupling look to them. And we are also designing them so you can put KDs on there if you want. But it's really neat how we've got that sample and been able to review it. But yeah, in terms of the design, we're pretty much done on the design. Josh is finishing that up, and we should be setting that off for final design and tooling to start pretty soon, probably in the next couple weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, we should have a sample by the spring, maybe.
I mean, that's going to be a really unique looking train. As soon as they see them on the layouts, people are going to want to grab it for sure. Very unique, cool looking item. So I'm excited to see those.
Yeah, and we'll keep the orders open on the book. The book will be open on that one until we get that sample. We'll show it to everyone, do another video, and then we'll get that into production.
Now, when you say they made a 3D like mock-up, that's not how all the trains are. It's just like mock-up for 3D.
We've done this on a few projects where we want to prove out something in engineering or like he was saying, the shape of something. Well, we'll actually do a 3D resin print. It's from a 3D printer, but that's just for rough prototyping. We can't get any of the detail that we would need for production with that.
Yeah. So like on the Turboliner sample we show in the video, you don't see all the underbody, the conduits and brake lines and stuff like the plumbing. A lot of the grab irons on the side of the model aren't there, but that will all be, of course, on the tooling samples when they show up.
Wow, very cool. And that just goes to show your company's, where you want your reputation to be, and how you guys have treated every single project. I mean, you guys are going over the details of, how close the couplers for the radius turn to make it look more realistic, which is really intricate and detail orientated. I don't know, my personal belief, a lot of companies would overlook that. And real modelers want that accuracy, or it's so HO is just a whole different dynamic, and you guys are really just making it so realistic. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And don't forget, we've got N-scale stuff too, like the some of our other order deadlines that are coming up tomorrow. The Amtrak Horizon cars and the Comet coaches, commuter coaches. That's tomorrow as well.
Yep.
I'm not sure if we shown that stuff yet. I don't know if we did.
No. Let's if you could bring that up, I think, because the N-scalers, I don't think there's really not a ton of modern passenger cars out for N-scalers. So I think this will do pretty well.
Yep. These are the N-scale Comet pre-production samples. So there's still some detail revisions that are being done before production. These are the early samples, but you can see all the detail work we put into these. These are the Comet cab cars and the Comet coaches. So we've got full interiors, track powered lighting. We've got inside bearing trucks, as opposed to the Horizons, which have the outside bearings. Ditch lights, marker lights, headlights, all that detail we've packed into these, and the full underbodies as well, as you can see in that bottom right photo there.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
There's a comment orders deadline tomorrow. So N scalers, get your order in for the passenger cars, and very cool.
Yep, especially if you're a model that
North Jersey Transit.
Yeah, you guys are doing a lot of different things.
Of the woods here. Yeah,
very cool.
And I guess finally, the only other deadline we've got coming up, well, it's another. Oh, sorry, we've got two. We've got the Horizon cars, which we kind of mentioned it with the Comets, but we do have the Canadian N scale FP9s, the FP9As, CN, CP. Are we doing CN or just? No, it's just CP, isn't it?
I think so.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah,
I've been up to here with E8s and PAs. And
exactly. too many bulldog noses on the mind. So that's the other order deadline that's coming up tomorrow.
Very cool. Very cool. So lots of new product, lots of new announcements. Those Horizon cars that just came in, I mean, are so beautiful. I wish I had one here, but we actually had to give everything to Brooklyn because we're shipping so many. Yeah, and you guys probably are gonna have to announce another run shortly. So hopefully you do something.
We'll do more. We'll do more at some point. I don't exactly know when, but guaranteed there will be more Horizons coming in the future.
And it's really amazing because Joey's got a good comment. Just looking at the site makes my wallet cry. But it's really true because even for dealers, you know, when we look at your order packets, we're looking at the prices, and you know, to sell a one single car for that kind of money, it's a lot. But people want the details, and you guys are really, you know, providing to the market that's there, where they have the cheaper cars, but they want something that's, you know, they could be impressed by.
Exactly.
And so it's pretty cool. It's wild.
And that's
stuff.
what we really aim for. I mean, we try to get, in terms of passenger cars, we try to go for the absolute pinnacle in what you can do in HO scale with interiors and all underbody detailing and all that kind of stuff. But there is, of course, there's always other manufacturers do less expensive, less detailed, but less expensive versions that you can also go with. So that's the nice thing about right now. You've got a market where there's a very wide variety of product available in different price points.
So I do have a couple more samples if we've got a few minutes here. I don't
know. Yeah, we'd love that.
So this is one of the other projects I've been working on. This is the HO scale PA locomotive. These are the first injection samples. This one happens to be the Pennsy unit, which has unique number boards on the front and grill work. It will have the antennas on the roof. They're just not on yet. You can see, hopefully, a lot of piping detail underneath.
Mm-hmm.
There is a full cab interior, which, of course, my camera isn't going to pick up. Lots of road-specific details. We've got, I think, 5 different body shells on this.
Plus the B units, of course.
Plus the B units, right? So those are coming up.
And it looks like a beefier engine. I mean, compared to
it's a neat engine.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Got the Pennsy GLA hopper. This is another HO scale freight car.
Yeah.
Thing that's neat.
Christmas announcement. Yeah.
This is the Christmas announcement. The thing that's neat here is all of the rivet detail and so forth inside the car. I don't know how much you can see that, but it also has full brake detail on the end. The brake systems, 2 different brake systems.
Mm-hmm.
The KD58. Got to get my camera going. KD158 couplers. So very nice job.
Yeah. And like you mentioned, all of our will have those KD158s. That's our new kind of goal.
Yeah. Now you guys have mentioned that a couple of times. Can you explain to the people why KD158s? Why this change, or what makes them better than what you've used?
They're just a little. They're a little more scale looking, and we're finding that a lot of people that are buying our cars taking our couplers out and swapping them in anyway. So it's almost a service as much as that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is the last sample that I kind of want to show tonight. This is the Canadian Pacific D10 460.
That's cool.
It's a great little engine.
Wow.
This is the very first sample. It's not even complete. There's some parts still missing.
Wow.
This arrived just the other day. We are taking orders on these, and there's some photos on our website. That's been very well received, that locomotive. So I think you probably do well with those too.
Yeah, very cool. And that has sound as well?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, very cool. Very cool.
Sound, all sorts of lighting.
Yep.
Again, this being a very first sample, this one doesn't even have a decoder in it. So, but
Now, how would you guys make the sound for that engine? Are you going to work together with the DCC company? Have you picked a company?
Yeah, we're using ESU on this, as
Okay.
we've used on lots of others. ESU has a number of recordings that are fairly close. We're actually having a meeting with them next week to try to pin some of this down. We've got the right whistle recordings. We've got the right bell recordings.
Nice.
So it's a matter of, working it from there.
And the D10s are neat too, because a lot of them, because CP kept them until basically 1960 almost or thereabouts, a lot of them made them south of the border, or made their way south of the border into a lot of tourist lines and excursion runs and stuff like that.
And the other thing is too, it's just a neat looking little 460 locomotive, to the point that I think a lot of people are going to be buying these. We're offering them basically like you see here as well, painted and non-lettered, so people can letter them up for their own railroad use from there. I think you're going to see a lot of Americans doing that, even though it's a Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like a very detailed for a little switcher. It's got lines and curves. Really neat.
There's lots of parts, and once again, we've got several different detail variations on it. So we can't, as I said, we can't do anything simply.
Now, Bill, are you at work, or is that your home layout?
This is my home layout.
Really cool.
And in all fairness, this is the entire scenic section of my home layout. But it's working as a test track. That's a good place to. All the new samples are down here, so this is a good place to do this.
At least you have a layout. Most of our coworkers here, they just have their trains in boxes for eventually they're going to build their layout. Mm-hmm. So it's funny. I think maybe 3/4 of the train industry are just collectors, where they're going to say at some point they're going to build the layout.
Well, in fairness, I've been 7 years between layouts now, so this is a kind of a new project. So I was that way for quite a while. But
you actually pulled the plunge.
Well, we built a whole addition on the house so I could have a big enough basement to work in.
Very cool. Neat. So anything else for tomorrow's deadline? We got the 28599, the black Amtrak locomotive, the special run. Deadline tomorrow. The flat cars.
The F30s.
The trailer trains. Mm-hmm. The N-scale passenger cars due tomorrow as well, and also the N-scale
FP9s. The
FP9.
Okay. Yeah.
Gotcha. So you got 4 deadlines tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Make sure you get your pre-orders in. There's a lot of times, a lot of people ask for some oddball things, non-sound or stuff that aren't as popular, and it's really hard to get when you guys order, 8 months or a couple of months after they come out already. So get your pre-orders in. It really helps the dealers, distributors, and Rapido as well to plan ahead.
Absolutely.
Anything else that you guys have lined up, or future date announcements, or anything you guys got down the line?
Well, our next order deadlines are going to be coming up about this time next month, February 15th. That's going to be on our HO scale Bud Manor sleepers and the baggage dorms. That's the next pair of order deadlines, which will be coming up soon.
Gotcha. So are you guys now, I guess, every month, the 15th of every month, or every other month, or how does that work?
Every month.
15th of every month if we can. I mean, it's as close to the 15th, 16th, 14th But that makes it easier, honestly, for all of us to plan. So that you guys know that there's going to be an order deadline coming up mid-month, and we can plan our end, and the customers can know too as well. So.
Yeah. So usually about 4 weeks ahead of time, 3 to 4 weeks, we usually send a notice. It'll be in our newsletter that this is the next order deadline's coming up in a month from now. Then we'll send another newsletter about 3 or 4 days ahead of time, like we did this week, just as a final reminder. And that's kind of how we're trying to do things now, just to be more kind of clear with everybody.
Very good. And it's good to know, at least on a set date, that people, start getting used to the 15th, dealers, distributors, customers out there, and just to peek in, check back. And I'm sure Bobby's going to send you an email and let you know what's coming out, what's deadlines coming up. So stay tuned for that. So that's great. You're keeping everyone informed, and you guys are doing just on all ends a great job. Your videos, just marketing, everything. So all around great efforts, and just the amount of projects you have going on. It's a good thing you guys hired more people, because you guys need it with the amount of stuff you got going on. And,
yeah, I mean, we can actually get a couple hours sleep each night now.
And on top of all
don't
this,
for that, please.
Yeah. On top of all this, you got to deal with COVID, and it's really tough for any business, just to deal with the current situation. So I'm glad things are going well, and I think this is great to see you guys, and great to hear the announcements, because it's one thing to get emails, but it's another thing to hear about it and see it. And I actually made notes myself on what to do and how to buy and what to get and stock up on. So this is a good thing. And I do see a question out there on our pre-orders. No, we don't take money down, so you could take the pre-order, no money down. And then when it comes in, we'll ship it to you and charge you at that time when it comes out. And of course, if you know ahead of time, if you want to cancel it, please let us know. It's just a courtesy thing. But yeah, pre-orders are definitely important if you could get them in. And anything else, Bill, Jordan?
Just stay tuned. We've got we're pretty much announcing new stuff every month now. So I think next month, I'm not going to say what they are, but we've got some HO stuff. We've got some N scale stuff that we haven't announced before, all new toolings. So stay tuned to our next newsletter, and every newsletter pretty much. So.
Now, are you going to make the announcement on the big virtual train show, or are you going to leave it up for the customer to check in and see?
Don't know if we're going to have stuff ready for, when is that? That's 2-3 weeks from now?
That's a good question. I should know this. The 26th, 27th, and 28th. Maybe. We'll leave it as a maybe.
Yeah, probably not. No.
Yeah. We do have some, like I said, we do have some new stuff, but it may not be ready, but we will have some stuff probably early to mid-February. So.
Yep. All right. Sounds good. Well, I'm sure everybody's going to want to join in to hear about everything anyway. So we will have Rapido on, and let me double check the date that they're coming on. This way I don't get it wrong, but we're having a big virtual train show, and Rapido is going to join us. Let's see, the date on Thursday, January 28th, 6 p.m. So definitely join us, and who knows, maybe they'll surprise you. You never know.
You never know.
But thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it. Bill, Jordan, always a pleasure. And
thanks for having us here again.
Thank you guys. Don't forget, big pre-order deadline tomorrow, the 15th. Get your pre-orders in. You got the Amtrak engine, which is probably the biggest HO announcement of the year that nobody expected, but everybody's happy that it happened. So get your pre-orders in, and the other HO and N scale deadlines we already went over, but you could get all your Rapido trains at trainworld.com. Thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you, Bill, Jordan, for taking the time out tonight. And we'll tell Jason you guys did an excellent job tonight. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Excellent.
We
Thanks very much.
it. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for joining.
Okay.
Take care.
Have a good night.
All right. Good night.